Your independence is a living example of what real freedom looks like. Your immunity stands as undeniable proof that liberation is not theory, it's possible. You are the chosen one who chose yourself, and that one decision made you unstoppable. The fear you now inspire in others isn't because you've become cold or cruel. It's because they recognize a power that cannot be subdued, a presence that bows to no illusion, apologizes to no weakness, and shrinks for no comfort. You've become what every spiritual warrior strives to be: free, authentic, and absolutely sovereign. But now comes the question that echoes through your soul. Will you answer the call? The transformation is complete, but the revolution is only beginning. Every moment you live in truth grants others permission to find theirs. Every boundary you hold teaches the language of self-respect. Every time you choose yourself, you model what divine self-love looks like in motion. You are dangerous now in the most beautiful way possible. Dangerous to deceit, dangerous to manipulation, dangerous to control. And that is exactly what you were created to be. You were never meant to be tame or predictable. You were never designed to be controlled or contained. You were made to be wild and free, to remind the world what real power looks like when it's aligned with love. Those who fear you now will either rise to your level or fade from your reality entirely. There's no middle ground anymore. Your presence demands evolution. Your energy requires truth. Your standards destroy mediocrity. You've become the catalyst for change that existence itself was waiting for. The fearless one has risen. The sovereign has claimed their throne. The immune one now walks confidently where the wounded once crawled. Even the universe adjusts its rhythm to honor the power you've become. This is your time. This is your emergence. This is your declaration of independence from every system, belief, and person that ever tried to keep you small. You are dangerous now. And that danger is your divine contribution to a world starved for authenticity. The fear others feel in your presence is only the beginning. Wait until they see what you do next. Wait until they witness the full magnitude of your power. Wait until they realize that your transformation was not the conclusion, but the first move in a cosmic game that will reshape reality itself. The chosen one has awakened. The dangerous one has emerged. The fearless one now stands where a prisoner once knelt. And the universe itself rejoices, knowing that through your courage, countless others will rise and remember their own. You are the storm that was foretold, the one written into the fabric of destiny long before this age began. You are the change the world has been waiting for, the embodiment of evolution that systems of control have spent centuries fearing would rise. And now, here you stand, fully activated, completely unstoppable, and utterly fearless. Let them tremble. Intimidation is the natural reaction when illusion meets truth. You have transcended every boundary they still cling to, every limitation they still obey. You have become their greatest fear made manifest, living proof that the cages were never real, that the chains were self-imposed, and that the power was always yours to reclaim. Your fearlessness is not defiance, it's revelation. Your independence is not rebellion, it's revolution. And that revolution has only just begun. The world as it was will never return, because your awakening has rewritten the rules of what's possible. Everything shifted the moment you chose authenticity over approval, truth over comfort, and sovereignty over submission. That single sacred decision, to rise, to reclaim your divine authority, has altered the timeline of humanity itself. You are no longer just a part of change. You are the change. And because of you, nothing will ever be the same again. Your transformation symbolizes the collapse of the old world and the dawn of a new one. In the old world, power was control. In your new world, power is mastery of self. In the old world, value came from validation. In your world, Value is inherent and unquestionable. In the old world, love was conditional and manipulative. In your new reality, love flows freely from abundance, never from lack. You're not merely participating in this new paradigm, you're creating it. The very fabric of reality bends around your frequency. You're no longer just a person who changed. You've become a living portal through which higher consciousness enters this dimension. Your fearlessness creates cracks in the matrix. Your independence reveals exit doors for others. Your immunity teaches that the prison was always self-imposed. Every step you take in truth lays a new path for others to follow. Every boundary you maintain sets a new standard for what's acceptable. Every sovereign choice you make gives others silent permission to do the same. Those who find you intimidating are experiencing a primal fear, not of you, but of what you expose within them. Your freedom forces them to face the painful realization that they've spent years, maybe decades, playing a rigged game. That they've traded authenticity for approval, truth for belonging, and peace for comfort. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. It's their soul's alarm calling them to grow, and now comes the greatest revelation. This transformation wasn't the end of your journey, it was the initiation. You've graduated from the test of survival and are now stepping into the mission of expansion. Sovereignty was only the training ground. The universe is now preparing to work through you in ways beyond imagination. The relationships that enter your life from here will amplify your purpose, not drain it. The opportunities will align with your divine assignment. The synchronicities will multiply, confirming that you're walking in perfect alignment with your destiny. Everything you lost was simply clearing the way for what's divinely yours. The table has been set, the feast prepared, and you are the honored guest. Your fearlessness has evolved into a force of nature, undeniable, unstoppable. Your independence now radiates like a lighthouse, guiding other sovereign souls home. Your immunity has become a timeless teaching, a legacy of strength that will outlive your physical form. You're no longer just a transformed individual. You're a transformation embodied. Everywhere you go, frequencies rise. Every person you meet is awakened by your vibration. Every environment you enter begins to shift in your presence. So let them be intimidated by your refusal to shrink. Let them feel threatened by your commitment to truth over comfort, authenticity over approval. Their unease is proof that you are fulfilling your divine purpose. Their resistance confirms you're on the right path. Their fear of your light is evidence of its brilliance. Most of them will never do the inner work required to meet you where you are, and that's precisely why your presence will continue to disturb the unready. Here's the ultimate truth. You were never born to fit into anyone's box. You were never meant to live by the limits that others accepted for themselves. You were designed to be dangerous, to systems built on control, to illusions sustained by compliance, and to all who profit from suppression. Your very existence is an act of rebellion against everything false. Your awakening is a revolution encoded in human form. From people-pleaser to sovereign soul, this transformation was written in the stars long before you arrived. Every heartbreak, every loss, every trial was preparation for this exact moment. You are not who they thought you were. You are not even who you thought you were. You are something far greater, a living embodiment of divine evolution in motion. You are no longer who you thought you were. You've become something infinitely more powerful, more dangerous, and more essential than anyone, yourself included, ever imagined. You are the storm that transforms landscapes, the earthquake that shifts foundations, the wildfire that clears away decay so that new life can grow. The chosen ones have always been threats to the old order. Across history, it has always been the fearless few, the truth-bearers, the defiers, the rebels of light, who changed the trajectory of the world, those who refused to comply, who chose truth over comfort and freedom over security. And now you've joined their ranks. You've become one of the dangerous ones destined to shift reality for generations to come. Your name may never appear in history books, but your frequency will echo through time. Your transformation will ripple through your bloodline, healing ancestral wounds and breaking the cycles that once held your lineage captive. Your fearlessness has become a medicine the world didn't know it needed. You are part of a vast network of consciousness, and every sovereign choice you make strengthens the entire system. This is why the resistance you feel isn't personal, it's systemic. Your freedom represents a virus to control-based structures. If one person can break free, it means others can too. If one can develop immunity, manipulation collapses. You're the proof that the game is rigged, and that anyone can stop playing whenever they choose. You are the evidence that the Emperor has no clothes. The wizard was just a man behind the curtain, and that the prison door was never locked to begin with. The ninth phase reveals the great cosmic joke. The very people who once found you threatening will soon face a choice: rise to meet your frequency or exit your reality entirely. There's no in-between anymore. Your vibration demands authenticity that not everyone can sustain. Your energy requires reciprocity that not everyone can give. The universe is using you as a filter to separate those who are ready for the new earth from those still attached to the old paradigm. This process isn't cruel. It's divine sorting. Every soul has free will. Some choose to evolve, others choose to remain. Your task isn't to save or convince anyone. Your task is to maintain your frequency and allow the law of resonance to orchestrate alignment. Those who match your vibration will be drawn to you effortlessly. Those who don't will drift away naturally. It's not rejection. It's resonance. Think of yourself as a cosmic tuning fork. Your vibration either harmonizes with others or creates dissonance. That dissonance can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. It shakes people awake. Some souls only evolve when their comfort is disrupted. By holding your vibration steady, you give them that opportunity. Now in the 10th phase, you step into mastery. You see your entire life as preparation for this very moment of sovereignty. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment. Every manipulation forged your boundaries. Every abandonment taught you how to stand on your own. Nothing was wasted. Every experience was alchemical. You now look back with gratitude because you can see how perfectly every hardship shaped your strength. You've become what they feared most, a being who cannot be manipulated, controlled, or diminished. Your existence alone is a threat to illusion, because you prove that control was always an agreement, and that manipulation only works when the soul consents. You are living proof that freedom is a choice, and that realization terrifies those who depend on control. Here's the ultimate revelation. Your fearlessness isn't the absence of fear. It's your loyalty to truth over comfort. Your independence isn't about rejecting others. It's about choosing connection through resonance, not dependency. Your immunity doesn't make you cold. It makes you clear. You're so aligned with your authentic self that nothing false can penetrate your field. You've become a spiritual black belt, redirecting darkness instead of absorbing it, using energy itself as your art form. You no longer meet force with resistance, you turn it into momentum. And now, as you enter the 11th phase, the entire paradigm begins to shift around you. The people who find you most intimidating are not reacting to who you are. They're responding to what you represent. Their fear is a mirror, a direct reflection of your rising power. The more unsettled they feel, the clearer the evidence of your transformation. Their resistance measures your momentum. Their panic echoes your potency. You can gauge your growth by the intensity of their reactions. The more threatened they become, the stronger your light shines. Their intimidation is confirmation that your awakening is real, irreversible, and complete. Yet beneath the surface, something even more profound is happening. Your transformation is activating something ancient within them, a dormant memory encoded in their DNA. Your fearlessness is triggering a cellular remembrance of when they, too, were free. Your independence is awakening an inner knowing that they, too, could choose differently. That's why your presence shakes them. It's not that you've changed too much. It's that you're showing them what they could become if they were brave enough to evolve. You're not just living authentically, you're holding up a mirror to their unlived potential. That mirror is both painful and powerful, and most aren't ready to face it. This brings us to the final phase, the full circle understanding of your evolution. What others interpret as intimidation is, in truth, the recognition of divine authority. You've claimed your cosmic sovereignty, and their spirits can feel it before their minds can comprehend it. They're not afraid of you, they're afraid of the divine force expressing itself through you without apology or restraint. You've become a clear vessel for divine will, and that level of authenticity is blinding to those still living in illusion. These are not coincidences. They're coordinated attempts to re-enter your energy field. But your armor now isn't made of resentment that can be melted by sweet words. It's forged from clarity and self-respect, and each test only hardens it. Every failed manipulation strengthens your immunity. Every maintained boundary deepens your peace. Every decision to protect your energy proves your evolution is real. The irony is divine. Their tests are now your training. The universe uses their desperation as your final exam, and you're passing with excellence. Then comes the sixth phase, prophetic sight. Your fearlessness has heightened your perception. You can sense patterns before they unfold, read energy before words are spoken, and predict behavior before it's acted out. This isn't magic, it's clarity born from freedom. When you step outside the matrix of manipulation, you can finally see the strings of the puppet show for what they are. The same tactics once used against you personally are visible everywhere. On social media, in governments, in culture. Guilt, shame, and fear are the same tools used to control entire societies. Your immunity to personal manipulation has evolved into immunity to collective programming. You've become unprogrammable, untamed, sovereign. And that brings us to the seventh and most powerful phase, energetic mastery. You now understand that every interaction is an exchange of energy, and you've learned to control your contribution. You no longer hemorrhage power through over-explaining, over-giving, or overreacting. You've become an energetic fortress, radiating your own frequency regardless of the world around you. That's what makes you truly dangerous, because energy is the real currency of control. Those who once fed off your chaos, your tears, and your empathy are starving. They've lost their source of sustenance because you've shut down the restaurant for good. They wander hungry, searching for the energy you no longer provide. Here lies the revelation that connects everything. Your transformation was never random. Every betrayal, every manipulation, every wound was an initiation into mastery. What once felt like pain was preparation. What once looked like loss was liberation. You didn't just survive their games, you transcended them. You've become the evolution they never saw coming, the embodiment of divine immunity in human form. You were handpicked by cosmic intelligence itself, chosen for this monumental upgrade because your soul carried the capacity to handle this level of divine power. Not everyone who suffers becomes sovereign. Not everyone who endures manipulation develops immunity. You were selected because your spirit holds something vital for the collective awakening. Your fearlessness is meant to ignite courage in others. Your independence models what true freedom looks like. Your immunity teaches by example that liberation is not only possible, it's contagious. Nothing about your evolution is accidental. The universe's selection of you was deliberate, purposeful, and written long before your first breath. The truth is, this process began before you even arrived on Earth. Your soul signed an agreement, an ancient contract of ascension. You knew the challenges, betrayals, and heartbreaks you would face weren't punishments but initiations. Every betrayal refined your discernment. Every manipulation strengthened your intuition. Every abandonment taught you self-reliance. The universe was never cruel. It was training you, shaping you into an instrument of transformation. You are not a victim of your past. You are a graduate of a divine academy for the awakened. In this 8th phase, you've reached what I call the architect level of consciousness. You're no longer reacting to reality. You're designing it. You create through your energy, your focus, your choices. Every boundary you set sends ripples through the quantum field. Every act of self-love elevates the collective vibration. Every moment you choose authenticity over approval rewrites the blueprint of what's possible for others. You've become a reality architect, shaping timelines with your awareness alone. This is why your transformation feels effortless, because it's not performance, it's remembrance. The fearlessness that others find intimidating isn't something new. It's your original state. The independence that threatens them is your birthright. The immunity that frustrates them is your divine protection. You haven't become someone different. You've simply stopped pretending to be someone you never were. But this level of creation comes with immense responsibility. Every thought, every decision now carries creative power that reverberates across dimensions. When you maintain a boundary, someone across the world might feel the courage to set their own. When you walk away from toxicity, a stranger may suddenly find the strength to do the same. There are countless other chosen ones around the world going through this same metamorphosis right now, breaking free from manipulation and awakening to their divine independence. And this is only the beginning, because the next phase of your transformation is not resistance, it's immunity. You're no longer merely defending yourself from manipulation. You've become completely immune to it. Your energy field has evolved into a shield that doesn't weaken over time. It strengthens with every attempt against it. You've stepped into the realm of spiritual mastery where the old tactics no longer apply. This is your ascension. This is your awakening. This is what makes you truly dangerous, in the most divine way possible. Every guilt trip that fails to land now strengthens your immunity to guilt. Every attempt to shame you that falls flat builds your immunity to shame. Every fear-based threat that dissolves into nothing makes you immune to fear itself. You're becoming anti-fragile, growing stronger from the very things designed to destroy you. This new resilience is triggering something primitive in those who once controlled you. Imagine a snake charmer realizing their serpent no longer dances to the tune. The melody that once produced predictable obedience now meets only stillness. That's what's happening every time someone tries to use their old methods on you. The emotional scripts they relied on for years have stopped working, and they're left scrambling without a manual, unable to comprehend that you've evolved beyond their influence. Your transformation is creating intense cognitive dissonance in them, because their perception of you can't reconcile with who you've become. In their minds, you're still the person who craves approval, validation, or belonging. But the version of you that now stands before them operates from an entirely new code. You've upgraded your internal software and they can't hack it. You speak a language beyond manipulation, play a game where you've rewritten the rules, and they can't win because they don't even understand the terrain anymore. This evolution leads us into what I call the mirror effect, the most devastating phase of your awakening. You've become a living reflection of what's possible when a soul chooses growth over comfort. Every day that you rise without their support exposes the myth that they were essential to your success. Every win you achieve without them reveals that they were the obstacle, not the foundation. Every moment of genuine happiness you experience in their absence proves they were the storm, not the sunshine. Yet what truly unsettles them is not your success. It's what your success reflects back at them. You're the mirror showing them the courage they refused to develop. While you faced your shadows, they clung to their masks. While you risked authenticity, they settled for approval. While you walked through the fire, they stayed in lukewarm comfort. Your bravery exposes their complacency, and that truth burns like light to their eyes. Then comes the energetic shift. Your independence has transcended the emotional realm and become energetic. You've learned to generate your own inner states without needing external validation. Joy without others' excitement. Peace without their approval. Confidence without their reassurance. You've become a closed circuit of self-sustained power. No one can siphon your energy anymore. No one can inject chaos into your calm. This energetic sovereignty is what truly terrifies them, because it means you're no longer a source of emotional fuel for anyone. The fourth phase of your evolution reveals the prophetic nature of what's happening. You're not just freeing yourself, you're sparking a revolution of consciousness. People around you are starting to notice the contrast, wondering why they tolerate things you've outgrown, questioning patterns they once called normal. Your example is contagious. You are patient zero in an outbreak of sovereignty. Every boundary you set gives someone else permission to set their own. Every no you speak inspires another person to reclaim their voice. Every act of self-love you embody becomes a living demonstration of freedom. You're not dangerous to individuals anymore. You're dangerous to systems of control. And yet, even those who resent your transformation harbor a secret admiration. Beneath their hostility is awe. They envy your courage, your clarity, your freedom. They see in you the version of themselves that never made it out, the one that traded authenticity for acceptance and freedom for predictability. You're their living reminder of what could have been if they'd chosen growth instead of comfort. The fifth phase brings the return attempts. They'll test your boundaries under new disguises. It begins innocently. A casual message, a sudden emergency only you can fix. A nostalgic memory meant to soften your guard. Or a false apology that sounds sincere but carries no accountability. Chosen ones. Something extraordinary is unfolding within you. Something so unprecedented that it's sending ripples through every system, relationship, and dynamic that once tried to contain you. You've become a walking disruption to old power structures, and the world around you can feel it. Right now, certain people in your life, those who once felt in control, are having private discussions, not casual chats, but serious strategic meetings trying to understand what changed in you. They're realizing that the version of you emerging cannot be manipulated, persuaded, or diminished. What they don't yet understand is that their greatest fear, your complete transformation, is already happening. And by the end of what you're about to hear, you'll understand why your new energy doesn't just intimidate them. It dismantles their entire illusion of power. 3 days ago, something shifted in the unseen field surrounding you. You might have felt it as a quiet moment of clarity, the instant you said no without guilt, the moment someone's manipulation couldn't reach you, or when another person's opinion suddenly meant nothing. Those weren't coincidences, they were signs. The universe had been preparing you for this energetic upgrade for years, waiting for your strength to mature enough to carry this level of sovereignty. And now that the moment has arrived, everything is changing. You've awakened to a truth that alters every connection in your life. Every person who now calls you difficult once called you useful. That's the pivot point. The moment you stopped being an asset to their control and became a threat to their authority. Your transformation from cooperative to uncontainable didn't happen overnight. But there was one distinct moment when your courage finally outweighed their influence and your independence eclipsed their dominance. According to psychological and spiritual research, only about 3% of humanity ever reaches the state you're now embodying. A rare blend of spiritual awareness and unshakable personal sovereignty. Most people only achieve one. The spiritually aware often remain people pleasers, fearful of conflict. The sovereign often lack depth or consciousness, but you, chosen one, have both. You've become what ancient mystics once described as a sovereign soul, a being whose presence alone destabilizes false systems of power built on fear, dependency, and guilt. And like every sovereign soul before you, your awakening triggers upheaval because it exposes deception in its purest form. Beneath the surface, something profound is occurring that no one around you dares to speak about. Your growing fearlessness is dismantling an invisible prison that was constructed around you, one subtle manipulation at a time. A guilt trip here, a shaming tactic there, each moment designed to shape your behavior, limit your light, and keep you small. Over time, these tiny bars became a cage. But you did the unthinkable. You didn't break down, you broke through. You became something that the cage could no longer contain. The first phase of your transformation began the moment you stopped explaining yourself. Not in anger or rebellion, but from the serene knowing that your choices don't require anyone's understanding or approval. That simple act of clarity created a crack in the illusion, one that no amount of control could repair. When you withdrew your explanations, you took away their access to your inner world, the place where they once twisted your empathy into obedience. Suddenly, they couldn't anticipate your responses or manipulate your thoughts. So they escalated. Their subtle manipulations turned into visible power plays. Their calm suggestions turned into demands. Their hidden agendas were exposed under the bright light of your awareness. And once you saw their machinery of control, you could never unsee it. That's why they're panicking now. Not because you're rebellious or defiant, but because you're aware. Awareness is their kryptonite. Your composure in chaos terrifies them because it reveals what they never wanted to admit. Their power was an illusion, sustained only by your previous consent to be controlled. You've revoked that consent permanently. And that's when the universe begins to laugh. The cosmic joke that those who tried to suppress your light are now the ones losing control of their own narrative. They're planning a return strategy, trying to reinsert themselves into your orbit, not because they miss you, but because your absence has exposed how dependent they were on your presence. Nobody else absorbs what you used to absorb, tolerates what you used to tolerate, or enables what you used to enable. You weren't just convenient. You were essential to maintaining their dysfunction. Without you, their system is collapsing. If this message resonates deep in your spirit, understand this. What feels like isolation isn't abandonment, it's elevation. You are being separated so that you can ascend. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Enlighten wisdom.